Hey guys, welcome to Sportitude Running. My name is Josh and shoe review time today, and we're going to be talking all things Wave Rider 26 from Mizuno. So like all of my long comparative reviews, we like to look at 25, compare it to 26, give you all the information at home about the changes, outsole, midsole, upper, to who knows, maybe make this your next shoe purchase. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Before we jump into the engineering features of the Wave Rider 26, let's talk about the foot type and who this shoe is designed for. So it is a neutral shoe. So what we mean by that is on the medial side, there's no additional arch support system or dynamic or guidance control through here. It is designed for someone who comes down, be it heel or midfoot first. As you come through to mid stance, there's not a lot of favoritism towards that medial side. So someone who's relatively neutral to mildly supinated, they could sit themselves in the Wave Rider 26 and be quite happy. And we have done a little foot type review or foot type comparison. And for that link, hit the video above my head through here. And also being a cushion shoe, this little guy here is going to cater quite well for those runners searching for some protection underneath their foot out in the road. It is a mileage shoe. It's not the most cushioned neutral shoe from Mizuno. They have the Wave Sky 6, which is available now. That shoe is marginally heavier, but with that you get the extra cushioning underneath your foot. Wave Rider 26 being a little bit lighter, but still plenty of protection underneath the foot. It can be relatively versatile as well. Can use it for your long runs, but also can double down for say a session or two here or there. Okay, the fun part, let's get talking all things Wave Rider 26, starting from the ground, and we'll work our way up. So first things first, let's have a look at the outsole of the 26. There is a lot of change, to be honest, with regards to 25 to 26, and you can see through the heel of this shoe through there's not a lot of change. They still have that sort of vertical decoupled cutaway out through the, pardon me, I put the 25 down, through the back half of the heel unit through here. So you have the crash pad, which is catering for that entry point for your heel strikers as it comes up to your midfoot strike zone through here. A little bit of rubber on offer, which is great. Not too dissimilar to what we had last year with the 25. Plenty of coverage in the back half through here for your entry point. Harder wearing rubber, obviously higher friction point for your heel strikers. And your midfoot region through here, there's a little bit of exposed cushioning or a euphoric cushioning system, pardon me, underneath the foot through there. However, with regards to the 26, the biggest change is through the forefoot. So holding up side by side, you can see that there's a lot more coverage on offer through the 26 with regards to the amount of rubber on play. Now, Mizuno, what they did was when they released prototype 1 of this shoe, they had an outsole which is pretty similar to the 25, and what they found was because they just altered their cushioning system ever so slightly and their stack height ever so slightly with the 26, they weren't getting that forefoot performance which they were searching for. So they had to revert back to the drawing board and create a little bit more stable platform. That's why you can see this little vertical line which continues up on that lateral side through there. It's going to provide a lot more support and stability under that first and second metatarsal region of your forefoot, so on that medial side, and give you a bit more stability, and by increasing the overall surface area of this outsole through the front half as well, having a little bit more shoe, a little bit more real estate just gives you a better, more consistent platform as you release out of your gait cycle. Okay, jumping to the upper of this shoe first, let's discuss what Mizuno have done with regards to executing their upper. Now, first things first, when we look at the shoes back to back, side by side, heel counters are almost identical. Mizuno have been known for a number of years now to have really good solid heel counters. Nothing has changed with the Wave Rider 26. They've got that plastic construction at the back through here, that internal heel counter which gives your heel and your calcaneus a really good stable lockdown, which obviously ensures you don't get too much movement on that entry. So when you're a heel striker, the last thing you want your foot to do is move around before you then get yourself rolling through to your mid-stance phase. So the internal heel counter is fantastic, nice and solid. Appropriate amount of memory foam on the inside through here, so you'd expect that. You want, with a plastic device, you want a bit of foam through here to obviously give you some comfort and protection, and they've used a really soft lining, so in terms of the overall first fit and feel, fantastic. As we come through to the midsection of this shoe, what you find with Mizuno is they use that gusseted tongue construction. So what that essentially means is you have the gusseted strap which sits on the tongue, comes down to the midsole on the lateral as well as the medial side. What that does is it just helps the overall fit feel on top of your arch. It conforms that stabilised factor of your gait cycles. So again, when you're coming through your mid-stance phase, you don't want to be moving around that platform. You're nice and stable with the heel counter, but then we don't want to lose control as we come through the mid-stance. And that gusseted tongue just helps lock that foot down, which is absolutely perfect. Coming through to the forefoot, we have got jacquard mesh on offer in comparison to last year where we had the engineered mesh. Difference between the two, Jacquard's a little bit stronger, and in my opinion, this shoe breathes a little bit better than what it did last year as well. Now, it's important, obviously, because when you're looking at mileage shoes, you're going to be out on the road for a considerable amount of time. It could be 20 minutes for some, it could be an hour, it could be an hour and 20 for others, it could be more. So you want to make sure this shoe is going to give you ample amount of breathability, and that's exactly what this Mizuno upper provides in the Wave Rider 26. That Jacquard construction, a good, strong, configured fit, and obviously plenty of ventilation through that forefoot. From a fit perspective, I just need to call it out, I feel that the 26 is marginally deeper through the toe box. Now, what I'm talking about there is how much space do you have with wriggle room. It's probably the best terminology to use. So I get a little bit more wriggle room in the 25 than I do the 26, and that's more due to the fact it's got a little bit more volume through the front half. The shoe itself does come in 2 widths. I want to call that out as well. In the men's, we have a D, which is standard, and a 2E, which is a little bit broader. And in the ladies, we have a B and a D. So standard B and a little bit broader in the D width too. Love it when brands make their good shoes in widths, which is fantastic. Okay, guys, let's jump to the performance factor of this shoe, and we're going to talk all things midsole. First things first, Mizuno, what they have done is they've addressed probably a bit of mild criticism across the industry that their shoes are a little bit firmer than what they are in comparison to other competitors out there. Now, that's not such a bad thing. There are a lot of runners out there that prefer that slightly more responsive feel underneath the foot. However, Mizuno, if they didn't change, they were probably going to fall a little bit behind. So they had to address the overall performance of this midsole. So by doing that, Mizuno Energy is the foam which sits on top through here, and underneath this wave plate we have your euphoric cushioning system. But your Mizuno Energy foam this season in comparison to last season, Mizuno have told us it's 17% lighter. Don't ask me how they've measured that, but we're going to trust Mizuno and back what they've done. Now, by making it more cushioned, what they have addressed here is they've popped it up a little bit in terms of overall stack height. So last year, 36.24 was the stack height, and this year we've gone 38.5 in the heel to 26.5 in the forefoot. So 2.5 millimeter change in overall stack. It does make a difference. I mean, it's not astronomical, but it does make a little bit of a difference. And especially in that first step, and you certainly notice a little bit more cushioning with 26 and 25. And I do like that. And the other consistent thing with Mizuno is they've kept that heel to toe drop the same. So by keeping it 12 millimeters heel to toe, both 26 and to 25, it's been the case now for a decade plus. They've really stuck to their guns with regards to this, the heel to toe offset in this shoe. We're seeing a lot of other brands alter, going from 12 to 10 to 8 and 8 to 10 to 12. There's a lot of variance in that 4 millimeter range with regards to the heel to toe drop, but Mizuno believe that this shoe performs at its best when it has that 12 mil offset. So kudos to Mizuno there. The other thing to talk about with Mizuno, it wouldn't be a Mizuno review if I did not address or discuss the wave plate. The wave plate is their intellectual property. It's their massive point of difference. The wave plate through here, what it does is it helps give the shoe some structure and integrity on entry. So when you make the shoe a little bit softer, or the foam a little bit softer, you need to make sure that that wave plate is going to give this shoe a little bit more conformed fit, so hold that stability of that midsole. And it does that from your entry, be it heel or midfoot striking, and as you transition through to your mid stance, this wave plate does restabilize that foam and keep your foot on top of the important parts of this midsole. And Mizuno have done that. They've addressed that with this wave plate. And what they have done with regards to the positioning is what they have taken from 25 to 26 with the increased stack height. Therefore, the angle of decline will be marginally more, although the heel to toe offset's the same. Because you've got more shoe, the angle of dip will be a little bit more. They've just transitioned that wave plate a little bit further forward. It won't alter how it feels in entry for heel striking, but it will give the shoe a little bit more stabilization as you come through your mid stance. So if they happen to use the wave plate positioning on 25, in this midsole, it would lose quite a lot, and you would probably bottom out the forefoot too quickly. So really good piece of engineering work from Mizuno with regards to that positioning of the wave plate. Okay, guys, covering some key statistics. We've touched on the widths. So just a refresher, we have a D in the men's and a 2E, so 2 widths on offer. In the ladies, we have a B and a D. I want to address the weights of this shoe first and foremost. So we have seen a subtle increase in weight. 285 grams in the men's size 9. From last year, we had 275 grams on offer with a 25. So a 10 millimeter bump It's an absolute fair trade-off because you get more cushioning, more stability, and obviously a little bit more outsole coverage, which should help the overall durability of this shoe. I'd happily trade 10 grams to get that performance factor. Last year with the ladies Wave Rider 25, we had 230 grams, and we've gone up to 235 grams in the 26. So that 5 gram bump with regards to Wave Rider 26 for the ladies. And just again, little refresher, touch on it just then, increased stack height, 38.5 mil in the heel to 26.5 in the forefoot. Last year we had 36.24. So that 2.5 mil jump in overall stack height has obviously concluded in that extra weight. So I think it's a good thing, performance first, and the weight is a mild trade-off. So well done to Mizuno. So the Wave Rider 26 sits in that stable neutral category, a category that is growing year on year. So when we're talking about other competitors or other comparisons out there, you've got your Ghost from Brooks, Cumulus from your Asics, you've got your Ride from Saucony. It's a category that is extremely versatile. A lot of runners can sort of pick up that shoe, get the amount of cushioning that you need for your long runs, and they can also double down as a shoe for some quicker and tempo days as well. I find that category, for want of a better term, is probably it is our most searched, our most sold category downstairs on the shop floor because it really does meet a lot of needs. And the Wave Rider 26, for full transparency, this shoe here is Mizuno's #1 shoe globally. It's extremely popular. No surprises there. It's cushioned, it's light. It does talk straight to a very, very broad demographic, being that stable, neutral, slightly cushioned category. So it's good. It's going to compare quite well against the others downstairs, which is great. And overall comfort is probably going to be a leading factor, and I reckon they've absolutely addressed that with the improvement of their midsole. Okay, guys, summarising, Wave Rider 26, in my opinion, is an absolute tick. They've made some really, really big leaps with regards to where they've come from with the 25, and I say big with a pinch of salt because not a lot changes from Mizuno with regards to one shoe to the next, and especially in their most popular shoe globally. You don't want to go back to the drawing board and re-engineer something wild and outrageous because you're going to lose a lot of those loyal Wave Rider runners. So by just making those subtle changes, stack height, a little bit of weight, but making the shoe softer and the positioning of that wave plate coming a little bit further forward, I really do think they have ticked all the boxes with regards to making sure this shoe is going to pick up the Wave Rider runners from the past, so 24s and 25s. They're going to be able to transition to 26 with absolute ease, but they're probably going to take a little bit of market share away from some of those other competitors we discussed earlier. That category is extremely large with regards to your global market share, this stable neutral category. That's why your Brooks Ghost is very popular. That's why your Asics Gel Cumulus is popular, and obviously that's why your Wave Rider 26 is popular as well. So it's important to note that when you come in, get yourself fitted, think about comfort first, and obviously the performance metrics will take care of themselves. But I do like what Mizuno have done with the 26, and I think a lot of you out there will enjoy it as well. Now, if you've been a Mizuno Wave Rider runner in the past, let us know your favourite one. I love to hear from all of you around the world with regards to your running shoe selections. If you have used Ghost, Cumulus, let us know what you think about those shoes down in the comment section below. And if you've got any additional questions, queries, or theories about what we've discussed today with the Wave Rider 26, comment section below. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, hit that red button, stay notified, and we'll keep knocking out these shoe reviews for you, the running community, all over the world. Until next time, stay safe, keep chasing those PBs, and we will see you out the road. Take care.